Sponsored by Pennzoil. For more engine miles, Pennzoil works like liquid ball bearings.
And good afternoon, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien, along with Clark Kellogg here in our New York studios. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you out there who happen to be Irish or not Irish. Two great games going on right now, and let's begin with New Mexico and Georgetown. It is 35-32. The Lobos up on top, trying to get to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 1974. Georgetown's pumped up as well. Here's Spider Smith nailing a three from way outside.
Hard to defend that one, Pat. He was 3 feet behind the line, and there's another triple. This one doesn't go, and Georgetown blocked by White, off to the races. Iverson now pushes it ahead. This is what Georgetown has to do more of, try to get in the open court, because if they don't get the initial shot, Jerome Williams there for the putback.
And Iverson beats everybody to the bucket for two here, but he's in a little bit of foul trouble here.
Picked up his third at the 4:31 mark. It was a tie game then.
This has been an inside game, hasn't it, Clark?
Everything's been happening in the paint at both ends. Here's a nice steal. Smith inside, sweet finish, drew the foul on White.
And Georgetown trails 35-32. In the Southeast, in Orlando, Temple and Cincinnati, another great game today. 34-33 is the score, and Bill Raftery had a leprechaun with him at the game this afternoon. Temple's Mark Jackson looks to kick it back out, but Damon Flint steps in the pass lane, finishing it up. Nice little smooth move there.
Yeah, spin and serve 'em type move there. Here you take a look. Good ball movement. Flint on fire. 4 of 7 from behind the line. 16 first half points for Damon Flint.
The Owls hang in there. Here's Huey Futch again with a three. And then off the pass from Keith Legree, Darnell Burton nails a triple there. So now we have a 1-point game, 34-33. Coming up in our part 2 of our triple header, Iowa and Arizona, North Carolina, Texas Tech, Louisville and Villanova, and Boston College and Georgia Tech, and that's in the Southeast. And 11th seed of Boston College faces the 3rd seed Georgia Tech there. And the Yellow Jackets are a team with a lot of promise. But as Michelle Tafoya discovered, freshman guard Stephon Marbury might just lead them to the promised land.
Marbury. Oh, what a move! Oh,
Coming out of high school, Stephon Marbury could have played almost anywhere.
I'm Stephon Marbury with 10, Georgia Tech.
Now the starting point guard for the Yellow Jackets, Marbury's explosive scoring skills and exceptional court vision have drawn inevitable comparisons to former Tech star Kenny Anderson. No freshman has generated more hype this season, and none has been more scrutinized.
I would hate to coach with the expectations that Stephon Marbury has as a player. It's just no fun. Everybody expects you to win all the time and be great all the time.
I don't feel that way at all. I don't feel that, expectation that the media or anybody puts on a player that's top 5 in the country coming out of high school. I think they should. I think it should be high expectations. Sometimes it's not fair, but that's just how it is.
Not far from what was once a New York City jewel are the projects where Stephon grew up playing basketball. His older brothers were talented players who continue to influence Stephon's game.
If you look hard enough, you see each one of our games incorporated into his game.
We've been with Stephon for years. This is our little brother. So if we see something that he's not doing on the dance floor, we must point it out to him. How can I go to sleep and say, man, I didn't even tell Stephon that he did that wrong?
There is little doubt that Marbury will make it, but what remains central in his life is his family, those who support him and the one he supports, his baby daughter, Stephanie.
She's the light of my eyes. I'm so happy that she's here. I mean, she's one of the reasons why I really work so hard.
All I really want Stephon to be is a good person. That's what I really want Stephon to be, and that I think he is.
If I make it, I'm going to be the happiest person in the world. If I don't, I'm still going to be happy. As long as my mother's all right, my daughter's all right, my family's all right, everything will still be fine.
Hey, you look at that piece, you just kind of feel a lot of pressure on that kid, huh?
Yeah, despite the expectations, the super expectations on this young man, he's well-grounded, and at Georgia Tech, he's learned how to fit in and blend in with his new teammates.
All right, those of you out there watching New Mexico and Georgetown, we're going to send you back to your game. Enjoy the second half. And those of you watching Temple and Cincinnati, we'll be back here with more halftime in a moment. Stay with us.
To our
our day in Richmond, Georgetown, and New Mexico in a one-point game. And near the conclusion of every tournament game, we'll select a genuine Chevrolet most valuable player of the game from each team. To date, Chevrolet has contributed almost $5.5 million to the scholarship funds of America's colleges and universities. Oh! Page the miss, but Boubacar foul there for the putback.
New Mexico coming out and another gimmick defense. That time they were in a triangle 2, playing both Iverson and Page man-to-man, and then the other 3 players in a triangular-shaped zone. Those things can catch you off guard, and if you can get them to work, get you 2 or 3 good minutes of sitting down Georgetown's offense, that's good. But ultimately, you've got to get back and match up so you're in positions to box out and not give up easy second shots on the inside.
Shot clock's going to run out anyway, but Georgetown comes away with the ball. And Page has a pass stolen by Gibson. Great drive, David Gibson, his first points. Iverson going to try to get it right back. And he's pushed. And that will be the 3rd foul on New Mexico's Greg Schornstein.
Number 45, Greg Schornstein. He'll afford to pick up any more fouls because not only does he do a very good job in the perimeter, he's proven to be a very good and clutch shooter from that three-point line, but he's also very instrumental in New Mexico attacking the press, and he does a good job in getting on that defensive board.
Iverson with 2 threes in this half, 12 points total. Heidi White. Strip, Schornstein. Gibson going right at Iverson, and you see what Iverson did? Backed away.
He backed away, and you made that point before the break that Gibson, only averaging 4 shots per game, really not looked upon to shoot the outside shot, but you've got to make Iverson play both ends of the floor. If you get him to work hard defensively, maybe you can take away from some of what he likes to do offensively.
Of course, the Lobos would love to pick up that 4th foul on Iverson to stop that. His 3rd 3 of the second half.
Allen Iverson, 5 times this year, Big East Player of the Week.
A lot of people question the shot. He's silenced them this year. A rebound of the missed 3 here. And another one. Nope. Inside and Cartwright stole it. Now White dives, and that'll be a held ball, which will go to Georgetown.
Well, Iverson had the right idea. He just knocked down the 3, so that should really open up the defense on the inside, especially in transition. You've got to account for where he is on the floor. But New Mexico doing a very good job of sprinting down the floor. They were able to run back, protect their basket, and that's why that pass by Iverson was intercepted.
Bella Harrington in the game as Georgetown leads by 2. Iverson shot 50% from the floor this year, 37% from the three-point arc. Harrington a miss, but there's Jahidi White, and he's fouled by Cartwright. Jahidi White, I don't know that he's played 10 minutes in this game, has 10 rebounds.
Well, he's just making himself available on the inside. He's assuming the shot's going to be missed, and right there, he just goes up in that traffic area, takes a man's rebound, reaches, grabs it, and then goes up strong.
White, though, not a good foul shooter, 48%. And he has been a tremendous contributor off the Georgetown bench. It's been a characteristic as long as John Thompson's been there. The Hoyas run players at you in waves, and White is another one.
In waves, and while you start to get fatigued and tired, they keep their legs fresh. Georgetown really struggling at the free throw line today. 9 of 21 for 43%.
Another miss, and there's Boubacar. Oh, and he will get to the line. And that's Schornstein. It will be his 4th.
And see, Georgetown against Mississippi Valley State, They shot free throws poorly. They were 19 out of 30, and that was 43%. That's the bad news. You see Shorenstein right there locked up.
Mexico got a break. They called it on Cartwright.
Both players locked up, but that's good news. But the bad news for Georgetown is they haven't shot free throws well. They shoot 63% on the year anyway. But the good news is, as long as you're getting to that free throw line, that means that somebody's fouling you. New Mexico really not in a position to start losing players to foul difficulty.
Not only does Georgetown have a depth advantage over New Mexico, that will be exaggerated if the Lobos continue to foul people. Georgetown leading by 3. Well, Georgetown is already in the bonus. 6 team fouls against New Mexico. A lot of them caused by the great offensive rebounding.
On many occasions against his own defense.
Gibson took it in and was blocked, but he strips Harrington. And Spider Smith missing.
Now you got to get back. That was quick alert play by David Gibson. You want to make plays on the ball. You want those palms to be up so you have quick, active hands. You don't slap down where you can reach in and grab that inadvertent foul.
Iverson fouled. And that's the third now on Cartwright. The 7th team foul on New Mexico.
Cartwright is 6'8" now. If he's in foul difficulty, you of course still have Daniel Santiago, who's 7'1". And then of course Kenny Thomas, but that's it as far as having any size available for Dave Bliss and the Lobos.
And right now you can see Dave Bliss. I would think too early to bring Kenny Thomas back, still 12.5 minutes.
Especially as close to the basket as Georgetown's offense seems to be playing this ball game.
Another rebound by White, but New Mexico stripped it. And Jerome Williams saves it for the Hoyas. Georgetown has been so quick to lose balls in this game. Victor Page gets it to drop with a foul.
You know, anytime you can combine a fine shooting touch with great athletic ability, you can create these kind of scoring opportunities for yourself. Jerome Williams almost negated that play. He had thoughts of going up and tipping that ball in. Had he touched it, it wouldn't have counted. Iverson enjoying that as well as Page.
Well, after New Mexico had taken the lead, Georgetown has scored the last 7, so Dave Bliss brings Kenny Thomas back. And the fouls are just strangling New Mexico right now. 18 fouls against the Lobos in this half.
7-point lead for Georgetown. Coach Dave Bliss bringing back in Kenny Thomas. I mean, that's his way of saying it's all right now or nothing. There's no reason to save Kenny Thomas. He's got to play smart, not pick up that 5th foul.
Gibson took it into Iverson. Kicks it back to Shields. Thomas, good cut by Gibson to the basket. That ends an 8-point Georgetown run.
Gibson doing a fine job. If you're not going to pay attention to David Gibson from behind that three-point arc, he's only a 10% three-point shooter. Runs an excellent give and go and makes himself available in the half-court offense for layups.
New Mexico trying to hang in here. Georgetown right on the edge of putting one of those runs together that could break this thing open. Dixon got bodies in the air and draws a foul. That'll be Jahidi White's third team foul. And I'll bring Harrington back in off the Georgetown bench. We saw a game here Friday night, Larry, where Northern Illinois just kept hanging around. They refused to let Texas Tech finish them off, and it ended up being a one-point game. New Mexico's showing some of those same tendencies here today.
You can keep the score close, and oftentimes you can feel a team just continue to gain in confidence. And the more you let a team gain in confidence, and the closer that score, the more opportunity they have to get you at the end.
Trying to hang in there with Georgetown, 53-49, 11:07 left in the game. Temple was hanging in there with Cincinnati, but now Cincinnati in white has gone out to a 54-40 lead.
Big run by Cincinnati, 19-3. They've done it by making shots, while Temple has done just that. Missed shots. They started the game 3 of 11, and they started this half missing 8 of their first 12 shots. So really struggling to shoot the ball. And we talked about it earlier, Pat. For Temple to really have a chance, they were going to have to make perimeter shots.
Nothing new for Temple, a poor shooting team coming into the tournament.
There's
Two
one
schools
goes
are
down.
very familiar with each other, and the 4th meeting in the last 2 seasons. Let's go back to Georgetown, New Mexico, and Ted Robinson.
Blue shirts in the stand.
Iverson. And New Mexico clears it. The Lobos lead for Spider Smith. And then a foul on Cartwright. Well, the New Mexico fans didn't like that, but I think that was a pretty good call. Cartwright commits his 4th foul.
Well, Smith runs this down. He could have given up on the ball, but he does a wise thing. That is the basket at his end, so he tries to save it. You get 2 players hustling for the ball.
And Cartwright, a little bit of that right arm in there for the takedown. Down to 5:18 to play, and Boubacar Al will be at the line.
Mexico's got to box out on this free throw. You mentioned earlier about the success Georgetown had on missing the free throw, but then getting the second shot. Georgetown with 17 offensive rebounds. A lot of those coming virtue the missed free throw.
Georgetown has made just 13 of 29 from the line. Al himself 1 for 4. And New Mexico, having already lost Kenny Thomas, the next center, Marty Cartwright, has 4. Shahidi White with 4 for the Hoyas. Boubacar Al is now 1 for 6 from the foul line. Georgetown 13 for 31. That's kept New Mexico in the game.
Wow. That double-edged sword. You're putting the other team in foul difficulty, but you're not gaining any advantage because you're not making your free throws.
Another block. Loose ball, Shields. Got it over Harrington. 17 for Clayton Shields.
6 blocks for Georgetown, but certainly the courage of New Mexico, they're not backing down. It would have been easy to dribble that ball outside, but the New Mexico players still taking it right to the heart. And so is the Georgetown defense.
Heidi White has blocked 4 shots in this game. Iverson hits the 3. And that's with Spider Smith and his long arms right in his face.
And after he knocked down that shot, he jumped higher after it went in than he did to get this shot off.
23 for Iverson. And now Georgetown's Al is called for a foul. That's the 7th on the Hoyas, so New Mexico will get to the line in a 1-and-1. Every so often in your college career, as a coach like John Thompson, you're graced with that special player that whenever things are sticky, whenever you need to win a ball game, that guy can make the plays for you. For the last 2 years, John Thompson's been graced with Allen Iverson.
It certainly makes a lot of your coaching decisions a lot easier. Like, okay, how do we attack a full court press? Well, that's easy. Who do we go to if we need a tough shot or we need somebody to create off the dribble? It's also easy.
Fields made 1. Georgetown by 8 with the ball. John Thompson has talked this year about how at times he feels like he's almost restricted Iverson, stifled the great creativity he has.
But I think it's been a growing process for both. John Thompson, of course, letting Iverson do his thing in many occasions.
Oh, look at that. What a pass by Harrington there. Harrington, the senior big man, who's no longer the focal point of the offense, had a chance to shoot that ball, but he gave it to Iverson.
Very unselfish play, and that's why a lot of the Georgetown faithful think that Harrington's best basketball is going to be ahead of him.
3:24 remaining. Allen Iverson has scored 19 points in the second half for Georgetown.
Over New Mexico, 69-59. Temple, meantime, down in Orlando, Clark Kellogg was down by 16. Now they've closed it to 6.
They've turned up the defensive pressure, and they've been winning the free throw game all game long. And right now, somebody for them is going to the line. I don't know if it's Jackson or Batiste. And Mark Jackson has been tremendous in the second half, stymied with 2 fouls in the first half, played only 6 minutes.
That'll be the game for Art Long. He's just fouled out for the Bearcats.
Actually, that's Huey Futch that's going to go to the line inside on the weak side board there.
Temple from the line on the season, 61%. Today, 82%, getting their freebies.
And, you know, throughout the weekend, I've talked about the free throw game as one of the games within every game. And typically, the team that wins that game and the rebound game is going to win anywhere from 75 to 85% of your games.
Let's see if he can keep the free throw percentage at 82 here and make this one. 4:38 left in the ball game. And he does. It's 64-59 now as Temple tries to close it in against Cincinnati. You bet we'll keep an eye on that game for you. Meantime, let's send you back to Richmond, where it's still a 10-point game. He didn't miss anything. How about that?
2:46 to play here in Richmond. Georgetown with the ball and a 10-point lead. They've completely turned this game around in the second half as New Mexico has been worn down. Fouls playing a big role in that. And the relentless Georgetown defense.
You know, New Mexico, they play at altitude in Albuquerque, and because Dave Bliss has only really played 7 or 8 players all season long, they have marvelous physical conditioning, but you're right, they've been worn down mentally, and when you get key players in foul trouble, it does wear on your psyche.
Now it's Iverson just running clock down. And it's been a big part of this game. Gray shirts on the offensive boards. We've seen a lot of it today. And Georgetown has just lost Jahidi White. White committing his 5th foul with 2:20 to play.
When you talk about defense and seeking level of the ball, watch Jahidi White on this play. Now, as the ball is dribble penetrated to the baseline, he's going to see the ball. Good man and ball defense comes from the help side, and that's how you get a block and support on that help side defense.
Jahidi White with a tremendous game for Georgetown, replaced by Jerome Williams. The Hoyas looking to get to Atlanta, and they might have a rematch. Georgetown lost in the round of 16 last year to North Carolina. North Carolina will play Texas Tech in the next game here. Jerry Nichols leaving and Boubacar Al coming back.
2:20 left to go. You're certainly at a disadvantage. If you're New Mexico, not only are you behind, but now in those situations, down 9, where you come down and you score, and you need to foul quickly, you don't have the luxury of picking and choosing the players that you want to foul. With all the foul difficulty, you're going to start to be your own worst enemy.
You're going to have to foul the guy with the ball, because he's not giving it up. Iverson, a 69% foul shooter. Stella Harrington. Another tip. Jerome Williams. Has great offensive rebounding today by Georgetown. 19 offensive rebounds. And the Hoyas up with it again. Jerome Williams running. And finishing. 13 for Williams. And the Hoyas are heading to Atlanta. A timeout by New Mexico. 1 minute, 11 seconds to play. In Chevrolet players of the game, Clayton Shields with 19 points to lead New Mexico, and Jahidi White with a tremendous inside performance for Georgetown. And the Hoyas on their way to Atlanta, where they will meet the winner of Texas Tech and North Carolina. Last year it was in Birmingham in the round of 16. North Carolina was the 2 seed, and they knocked out the 6th seeded Hoyas. That is Smith. Now with 13 for New Mexico.
Smith, the junior, really set that shot up nice with the up fake.
But the second half, Iverson hit a couple of threes early that got Georgetown back in front, and he has been in control. 19 points and a half, 25 total for Iverson. Combine that with the offensive rebounding dominance by Georgetown. And that has spelled the difference. Stella Harrington pulls it out.
Georgetown with 52 rebounds in this ball game. A difference of 16, really showing the dominance on the inside.
And the celebration starting on the Hoya bench for Allen Iverson. His return to his home state of Virginia, successful. Georgetown is back to the Sweet 16 for the 8th time under John Thompson. The Hoyas win it 73-62 with Larry Farmer. This is Ted Robinson in Richmond. Now back to Pat O'Brien.
All right, guys, thank you, Ted. So Georgetown gets it done. They advance to the Sweet 16. Let's send you down to Orlando now. Cincinnati trying to advance as well. They're up by 7 over Temple. Temple had a lot of trouble shooting early on. Then they've made a little comeback, and they've closed it to 7. We'll be back after this with more basketball here on CBS. This is the 22nd timeout, so we'll stay here. It's a minute 12 left in the ball game. Cincinnati in white, Temple in maroon. Let's go over there and listen in, okay? A couple Irishmen, Sean McDonough and Bill Raftery.
Lead. And time running out of the Owls, a minute 12 left. Winner of this game advances to Lexington, Kentucky next weekend for the Sweet 16 against the winner of the game that comes up next here in Orlando today. Boston College and Georgia Tech, and tempo will be the key in that one. BC wants it to be a half-court game. Georgia Tech wants to make it a track meet.
And which will prevail is the key to that victory. Little matchup zone by Jimmy O'Brien, and they're going to give it right away. They close the timeout. You try and get the 5-second or a turnover.
Back to Orlando in a moment. The number 2 seed in the Southeast, Cincinnati, leads Temple by 7. The winner advances to Lexington, Kentucky to meet the winner of BC and Georgia Tech coming up next. Should Cincinnati advance, they wouldn't have far to go for the Sweet 16. It's, what, maybe an hour's drive from Cincinnati to Lexington down I-75?
And when your team's advancing, it's an easy ride. You're sky high as they get the ball in the right hands. And let's hope Chris Laws is okay. Good hustle, try to pick up the charge.
Unfortunately, he is back on his feet and heading to the lane where Legree will shoot free throws. Temple now with 10 team fouls in this half, so it'll be 2 shots the rest of the way for Cincinnati.
Coming out of that timeout, Keith Legree was one of the last to leave the Cincinnati huddle. And the assistant coaches, Larry Harrison and John Lawyer, both said verbally, you get the ball at some points. They had Jolson inbound quickly to Flint, and then they got it over to a guy who's been sound. Would you say all ball game? When he has run this club, they're tough to beat.
Legree has 10 assists in the game, now 6 points, also has 4 rebounds. And it's Cincinnati by 9 with 1:05 left here in Orlando.
Now, your job if you're Cincinnati, make them use some clock. We'll go right to Jackson. He's got to kick out for the 3.
And Alston shoots the 3. And the ball ripped away by Fortune, and then he's called for stepping out of bounds, much to the chagrin of the Bearcat followers and their coach. He's barking at C.M. Newton, who, as we mentioned earlier, is the men's basketball tournament committee representative. I don't know what he expects C.M. to do about
change the call.
Yeah.
You've got that power, C.M.
Ivy missed a 3. Burton the rebound, and he was fouled as he tried to get the outlet to Legree. Foul is on Derek Battie, his second. More action this afternoon here on CBS Sports. Iowa and Arizona scheduled to tip at 2:30 Eastern Time. North Carolina and Texas Tech approximately 2:47. The game here between BC and Georgia Tech at approximately 2:43. Louisville and Villanova at 2:40 as Big East still perfect in the NCAA tournament with Georgetown's win earlier today. BC and Villanova still to play today.
A little story with that Iowa game in Arizona. Lute Olson had been at Iowa years ago. Thought of in fond memories, and first impression of Iowa too. So can't turn it over against them. Should be a pretty good one.
Alston, lengthy 3, and Legree runs it down. This foul with 35 seconds left. The genuine Chevrolet players of the game are from Temple. Mark Jackson, 13 points, all in the second half, 5 rebounds. And Danny Fortson, 18 points and 11 rebounds. 13 of those points from 9 boards in the second half to help Cincinnati pull away. And it was a 1-point game at halftime.
I thought Bob Huggins got back to just getting his guys in spots in this half. I mean, just coached, relaxed them, I believe. Started to do some things with ball reversal. Then Temple with the press or pressure half court gave him some open looks.
Cincinnati will advance to the Sweet 16 in Lexington and play the winner of the game next between BC and Georgia Tech. And Cincinnati's doing it at Temple again. We mentioned they were perfect 17 out of 17 in the regular season game between these two. Well, Cincinnati's made 13 straight free throws now down the stretch. Rebound by Flint. And he got it knocked away by Alston. Jackson pulls up for a 3. The T to follow. Alston. Temple can't go anything to go down. They do get the ball out of bounds as it was batted out by the Bearcats.
And pretty smart play by Jag. He's now 2 for 4 from 3-point range, and a guy that has trouble getting people to schedule him, and you can see why. Cincinnati had to be very sound and basic fundamentally, and not the time to foul. You just want to get this over. If you're Cincinnati, David Flint.
Hey guys, we might get 3 free throws here. Looked like he was about to attempt a 3-pointer. Flint called for the reach in. And there will be a 3-shot opportunity for Jason Ivey. Ivey's career will end today. Most of his career at Temple, he was the 6th man. Badged in Alabama. Temple's season will end at 20-13. John Chaney's 18th 20-win season in 24 years as a head coach.
Nothing but success down there. And I think scheduling played a part in this win. Cincinnati, and Bob Huggins plays Temple during the season. He said the way he schedules, he tries to see every type of look, defensively, offensively, and for the tournament, you're going to get a lot of adjustments, and some of them only in a day. They were very well prepared.
There's some playing time for Ryan Fletcher, freshman from Franklin, Ohio, out of Middletown High School, the alma mater of Jerry Lucas. Ryan was the Southeast Ohio Player of the Year last year. That might be Southwest. I can't read my handwriting.
Well, thinking of Lucas, that Ohio State team. Bobby Knight was a part of that. Mel Knoll, Siegfried, John Havlicek. I knew you had to get that in there. You're
Yes,
waiting
indeed.
with a bated breath. Great
Indeed.
Celtic. And now they can laugh, but the shorts are rather snug when you play Temple. You don't know when it's going to get over. They just punish you mentally all during the course of the game.
And for those wondering, it was Southwest Ohio.
Oh, good. I'm glad you
Player of
clarified
the year,
that.
Ryan Fletcher, the young man at the line. He's also the quarterback of the football team last year at Middletown High School.
Now, I know you're not going to give the Chevy today. Obviously, we handed it out, but Keith Legree, in a way, deserves a wheel, a hubcap.
Flint as well.
Yeah, Flint does, too. But just
16 in the first half, 22 for the game.
The numbers not necessarily going to show all the time in Legree's play, although he had a real good day with assists and points. Heady play.
Alston. And Ivy at the buzzer. It won't go. Temple season has ended. Bob Huggins and the Bearcats head to the Sweet 16. Final score, Cincinnati 78, Temple 65. We'll join Pat O'Brien and Clark Kellogg after this.
Up later, Iowa and Arizona. We're going to send you all out there. Then at 2:47, North Carolina and Texas Tech. At 2:40, that Louisville-Villanova game. And then Boston College at 2:59. A lot of basketball here on CBS. We're going to send you all out to Iowa and Arizona right after this word from your local station.